What's going on? It's Siiroth here, bringing you a new Nintendo live stream today. I'm going to be talking about my predictions as well as getting some of yours for Nintendo Switch game releases in 2018. So this was a live stream that I did schedule a little bit earlier in advance, and it will be saved, so some of you may be watching the archived version of this live stream. I'm just checking to make sure that all the audio is working out correctly. Let me say hi to some of you guys in the chat. Hello Charles Jones, hello Arusisi, Skit Central, Vincent Trin, CeeLo67, what's going on everybody? Thank you for tuning into the stream. I welcome all of you today, because we're just going to be talking about what's likely as well as some hopeful games that will be coming to the Nintendo Switch platform in 2018. Hello Nintendo Aiden, JY Jr. right there. What's going on everybody? Yeah, we did start a bit early today, just 1 minute earlier than I was expecting to, but I just wanted to make sure that the stream was going to work out correctly. So I do have an outline planned for the games that I'm going to be talking about today. Some of them are games that are already confirmed, and some of them are games that are not confirmed yet that I'm just speculating about and think that will be incorporated into the 2018 lineup for the Nintendo Switch games. What's going on everybody that just joined into the chat? So, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm not going to be including any game for January, because I think that after the holiday rush, Nintendo's just going to have their Direct in January, which is already pretty much confirmed, because as we talked about in the last chill stream that we had on Friday, this is not really just a chill stream, this is a more organized one, but this, we speculated about how it was already pretty much confirmed before EA put the stamp on it that there's going to be a Direct in January, so I think Nintendo's going to announce the 2018 games in that Direct, and I'm going to start off predicting the games that are going to be coming out in February. Let me say hi to some of you guys in the chat again. What's going on, Fresh Start? What's going on, everybody? Shalom64. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Let me know. Alright, so I'm just going to start off with what I believe is going to be the February game releasing on the Nintendo Switch. And this one is Yoshi. Now, we got this game confirmed at E3. It does look very interesting. It's not using the Woolly World style that we had seen in the past. However, it does have a pretty interesting aesthetic, as the Yoshi series usually brings, along with its new game releases. And I definitely think that if this Yoshi game is released this early, it'll provide a great jumpstart for the 2018 year of Nintendo Switch. It's a unique style of platformer that also incorporates some puzzle elements in there. So I think that Yoshi being that first major game in 2018, yeah, and that's another thing, guys. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to include one game per month for this video, one major first party or at least exclusive Nintendo game per month. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So February, I predict that it's going to be Yoshi. So do you guys agree with me? Let me know in the chat. Skit Central says, I hope we get a Mario Maker 2 with new themes. Definitely, I'm going to be talking about the possibility for a new Mario game a little bit later on as we get into the more months in the predictions here. And he has, you're mentioning that Kirby game. I will be talking about the Kirby game next. The Yoshi game does seem to have some interesting gameplay elements within it, and I definitely just think that Yoshi is just going to be a great way to kick off the Switch 2018 year. Nintendo Aiden says, that would make sense that if it would come out in February because Woolly World on 3DS came out in February. Dude, I did not even take that in consideration. That's actually really cool. That's actually really interesting. Yeah, I never realized that, because I knew that Yoshi's Woolly World was ported to the 3DS. I was aware of that. I didn't pick it up because, you know, why would I pick up a port, like a lesser port of a game, you know? But, I think that if Nintendo really wants to continue this pattern of Yoshi games releasing in February, that would be a good fit. Vincent Trin says, I want Luigi's Mansion, but yeah, Yoshi sounds good. Luigi's Mansion is definitely a good idea for a game. I'll be touching on that later on in the stream as well. Hello, Mary Joran. What's going on? Alright, so I guess we're good on the Yoshi front coming out in February. I could always go back to it if we want to talk about it some more. But I'll move on. No, not that one yet. You're to get some spoilers here. Let's move on to March, where I think that Kirby is going to come out. Now, before some of you guys say it, I know it's going to be kind of weird to have two platformers, two major Nintendo first-party platformer games come out in back-to-back months. However, I think that it'll still work because the Yoshi and Kirby series are pretty, like, good enough difference. Like, there's a big enough difference between the two to justify them coming out in back-to-back months. I don't think the releases of Yoshi and Kirby on the Switch are necessarily going to conflict with each other that much. I think that there's the Kirby fans who are going to buy Kirby, and then there's the Yoshi fans who are going to buy the Yoshi game, and then there's going to be some in the middle. None that are going to say, oh my goodness, I have to choose between Kirby and Yoshi. I definitely think that the fans of those respective series are going to choose whichever game that they prefer, or just buy both games. What do you think Nintendo will announce at next year's E3? Possibly some of the games that I'm going to be talking about in the latter half of this Nintendo stream here, because I'm going to be going longer than just talking about each of the 12 games that I have prepared, because I really just want to get some of your guys' input as well. Alright, I see JY Jr. Yeah, I get that, because this stream is going to be archived, dude, so some people are probably just watching right now, and they're watching the recorded version, so I'm going to be streaming more often for those of you who are watching after the fact. Just more streams will be coming and will be on the way. But the new Kirby game looks good. It was confirmed to be in spring of 2018 for when it's going to release. And I think that March, well, being early spring, will definitely, fit the bill for that. I think the releases will, that time frame sort of coincides with that. It'll just be a good game to kick off the year. And I can't really see any unannounced game, like one that'll be announced in the January Nintendo Direct, coming out this early in the year, because it'll just be too close, between announcement and release. But speaking of that, let's move on to what I believe is going to be the April release, and that is a new Mario Party. Now, I just mentioned how there is usually a large gap between an announcement and a release of a game, but Mario Party is a series that doesn't really abide by that too much. Mario Party sort of just gets announced and then released whenever. We just saw this with Mario Party The Top 100. It just came out this past November and was announced in the mid-September Nintendo Direct. So, I think that if Mario Party comes out in April, it'll still be pretty realistic, if it were to be announced in January. Galaxy 3. Yeah, Galaxy 3 would be kind of cool. I'm going to be talking about a mainline Mario game in a little bit, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. But in terms of what I'd want for this Mario Party, I did talk about it in a recent video, but I'm going to just talk about it now. I know that we just got Mario Party The Top 100, but, I mean, honestly, I don't really think it's going to conflict, because people who buy Mario Party The Top 100 are probably just buying it for nostalgia, whereas with a brand new Mario Party coming to the Nintendo Switch, if they revert it back to the old style, which is why I put this picture of Mario Kart, not Mario Kart, Mario Party 8 here, Siiroth67, yes, that's why I put Mario Party 8 here. I put it there because it was the last Mario Party game with the traditional style that we all love about the series. So, if a Mario Party game in that vein comes out to the Nintendo Switch, I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. Most people didn't really like the Top 100 because of the style that it had. It used the Star Rush style, and while I think that Star Rush is a decent game on its own and whatnot, the style is good, I'm not necessarily complaining about that. I hate the car style, but with the action-based style, I don't hate too much. But what I definitely prefer is the original style. Any Mario Party with the original style and on a home console, that's the best mix, and I think Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch would definitely bring that. A Super Mario World sequel, that would be really cool. I definitely think that fresh start, if Nintendo wants to reinvent the 2D Mario series, like we were talking about on Friday, that providing a new graphical style or bringing it back to the gameplay style of Super Mario World would really be a good idea. Yeah, I agree with you, Nintendo 8. And this new Mario Party coming out on the Nintendo Switch would really have to be similar to how the first 8 and DS were. Now, there were some, average and meh Mario Parties within there, but the style of those is definitely better than the newer style that we're getting. I want a Mario Party 1 through 7 remake and a real one, not a compilation. That would be really cool. Because Nintendo hasn't really done a Mario Party remake yet, but they've done many remakes of other games. So I think that if they were going to remake a Mario Party game, it wouldn't be that out of the question. Mario Party 8 is my favorite. I did enjoy Mario Party 8. Some people just complain about it because of the mini games and they don't think they're very good. My only real gripe with it is the lack of boards. Like, there's not very many boards. I mean, some Mario Parties don't have many either, but I definitely think that if Nintendo includes more boards and the old style on the Switch, it would be a really great Mario Party game. We need a new 2D Mario game. Definitely, I agree with you there. Pikmin 4. Don't spoil it, Half Strike. I'm going to be talking about that later. Pearl and Marina amiibo. Yes, definitely. I think that's going to be coming for Splatoon 2. That's kind of cool. Alright, next. Project Octopath Traveler as the May game coming out on Nintendo Switch. This is a game that I'm really excited for. It's a really interesting take on an RPG. It has 8 different paths that you could explore through within the game with 8 entirely different characters. It's just going to be a great game. I feel, because I really enjoyed the demo for it. If you did not play the free demo on Nintendo Switch, I'd really recommend playing it because it's just a fantastic experience. Now, I know it's not a first-party Nintendo game, although it is made by Square Enix and it's an exclusive, so I definitely think that it's worthy of having its own month as a game release, and they could also just throw some other types of games in there. I'm not just saying that there's only going to be 12 major Nintendo games coming out in 2018 or 11 because I'm excluding January for this video. It's because I think that they could just throw in some random ones whenever they want, but I'm just going to be focusing on these particular 11 games. Project Octopath Traveler has an interesting combat system. I love the music. The story looks really good. I agree with Siiroth67 in the chat there. I definitely want this game as well. Let me know what you think about it in the chat, guys. What do you guys think about Project Octopath Traveler if you played it? Cats and Crates, I really agree with you as well. That demo was certainly awesome. I like how each character also has their own unique abilities. Like Primrose could bring people along with her, and Ulbrich can also just fight anybody in the overworld that he wants to. What about the new plot twist in Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle they were talking about as DLC? That'd be pretty... I don't know. That could still come. Like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really too sure about that, Nintendo 8. I didn't play the demo, that's alright, dude. A Mario Kart Double Dash remake would be awesome. Great Mario Kart game, dude. So, I think that if another Mario Kart comes to the Switch, it'd probably be an entirely new Mario Kart. But, fingers crossed, if you really like Mario Kart Double Dash, I guess it's possible. Luigi's Mansion 3, dude, plenty games. Everybody's been talking about that in the chat, dude. People really want Luigi's Mansion. On my channel, like, there's been so much love from fans to get a new Luigi's Mansion game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. What's the next thing that I have in my slideshow here? Let's move on. Oh, a new Animal Crossing game. So, the big reason that I put a new Animal Crossing here is not just because it would be perfect on the Switch because you could take your town with you in a portable mode, but also the graphics would be good. And the reason that it's in my predictions, like, I definitely think that it's going to be coming. And I put it here in the June section because Animal Crossing definitely feels like a summer game. But the big reason is because of the mobile game. An Animal Crossing mobile game which was promised to have some main compatibility with an actual main Animal Crossing game. So, if this game is not New Leaf, then it has to be a new Animal Crossing game. And I think that this new Animal Crossing game will be Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch. It'll just be an amazing game. I think that it could be announced in the January Nintendo Direct, and it'll just be a great game for fans to be able to pick up from there. I will play this every day of my life. I know Animal Crossing is like one of those game series that seems to tend to get people addicted to it. Some people just really get hooked on to the Animal Crossing games, and that's really the goal. Like, we don't have many life simulation games on the Nintendo Switch yet. Like, Stardew Valley's on there, but it's not really a major first-party Nintendo release that would be coming. And Animal Crossing on the Switch coming in 2018 would definitely be one of those. Bayonetta 3, cough, cough. That'd be kind of cool. Next, let's talk about Fire Emblem. I don't know many of you that are interested in Fire Emblem. Like, I get like, I don't get many comments about Fire Emblem on my videos, so I'll try to be pretty quick with Fire Emblem unless lots of you are interested in it. But this game is already confirmed. I think that because it's such a major game, it could be the big summer seller for the Nintendo Switch. Fire Emblem is just going to be fantastic when it comes out, in my opinion. HD graphics is going to be the first time that a main series Fire Emblem game has HD visuals, and you'll be able to take it on the go. Like, Nintendo has made sort of the 3DS the main home of Fire Emblem games. So I think that by like putting it on the Switch, it'll also carry over some of the people that are new to the Fire Emblem series and are fans of its portability on the 3DS. So Fire Emblem for the Switch could definitely work out as being a great seller for summer on the Nintendo Switch, because obviously there are probably not going to be any more major games on the Nintendo 3DS. That system's kind of dying, with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon being confirmed to be the last Pokemon games on that system, and Pokemon is like, it has its main presence on the 3DS. So by putting Fire Emblem on the 3DS, it sort of got some of that RPG audience from Pokemon to move over to that series. So if Fire Emblem moves to the Switch, like Pokemon has been confirmed to move to, like both these games are confirmed obviously, but Fire Emblem on the Switch definitely think could be a good seller. Let me just read some of the chat here because I kind of missed some of it. So first, Skit Central. If there was amiibo support for a new Animal Crossing game, I hope it would give you a character cosplay outfits based on what amiibo you tap in. That'd be kind of cool. Because like there's already a ton of Animal Crossing amiibo. Now we could also see on the Switch how amiibo support. Anyway, because we're talking about Animal Crossing right now, I'll just move it back. You also kind of tell on the Switch that amiibo aren't being used as frequently or as much in a prominent role. You saw with Breath of the Wild there was some amiibo support, and for Super Mario Odyssey there was some amiibo support, but it's not as gigantic as it was on the Wii U. They still have the amiibo support. I still think they're going to use it, but I don't think it's going to be a huge thing anymore. Siiroth67 says, Animal Crossing is the king of games where you have to play it every day because there's such a variety of things to do. Or it's the kind of game. Yeah, I agree with that. It's you definitely have to log in every day or whatever and just do all of your things, you know, go fishing, whatever. But there's lots of things that you have to do in Animal Crossing. Aris DC says, oh, but the Fire Emblem community, those shivers. Yeah, okay, so some people complain about the Fire Emblem community, think it's a toxic community or whatever. I'm not too integrated into that community. Like, I'm not a hardcore Fire Emblem fan. I play the new games when they come out and I enjoy them, but I'm not one of those people that, you know, delves deeply into the lore of the Fire Emblem series. You know, it's definitely fun games, but I know sometimes the community can seem toxic to people in certain ways. Some people don't like the waifu stuff in the new Fire Emblem games. That's sort of where some of it comes from. And also Half Strike says Super Smash Bros. Melee remake. That'd be pretty cool. I definitely think that it could be done in a way where you put a melee mode in a new Super Smash Bros. Game. Sort of just change the style of the gameplay just to make it more fast. How about a new Mario and Luigi game for the Switch? That'd be really cool, Archie Watt. We just got one this year, and I think they've been doing one per year for a little while now, or around there. So I think that if one comes out next year for the Switch, it'll be pretty good. CeeLo67, no. The Bowser's Inside Story remake is gonna come after the Partners in Time remake. It has to, right? Doesn't matter how good that game is. What about a new Mario sports game? Skit Central. Stop trying to spoil the stream, dude. It's coming up. It's coming up. one side hates the new games but loves the old ones, while the other side hates the old games but loves the new ones. Yeah, that's sort of where the toxicity of the Fire Emblem community comes in. Although there's definitely some of the more just peaceful Fire Emblem fans who just like the games for what they are. And that's sort of what I am. I'm not too hardcore in that. Let's move on to Pikmin 4 coming to the Nintendo Switch. This game is already confirmed to be a thing, and it was confirmed before Hey Pikmin was even revealed. But no, it's Pikmin 4 is not Hey Pikmin, okay? Like you can't call Pikmin 4 Hey Pikmin. No, it's not. Because Hey Pikmin is a spin-off title of Pikmin. So I think that Pikmin 4 has to be like a new regular HD Pikmin game coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be the July game, I feel, right? Let me just, yeah, okay, so, no, July was Animal Crossing. Oh, man, I'm getting this screwed up. Okay, so June was Animal Crossing, July was Fire Emblem, and then August is Pikmin 4. So we're in August with the predictions right now. Yeah, it still needs to be officially announced, but Miyamoto already confirmed that this game exists. So I think that Pikmin 4 is likely to come out next year. It'll really just strengthen this summer because it's gonna make sure that all of those hardcore Pikmin fans come over to the Nintendo Switch. Tanuki Deku says Pikmin 4 needs to be announced. Planche Game says Mario Sports Mix 2. I'm going to be talking about Mario Sports near the in a few minutes on the stream because I've only been like, I take a couple minutes for each game that I predict. Then once I'm done predicting the games, I'm just going to have a regular chill stream and chat with you guys because this is the more organized section of this live stream. Yeah, it was confirmed that it was progressing. I thought, like, when they originally talked about Pikmin 4 that they said, like, the development's almost done. So, if it was almost done, then I think that it should be coming out in 2018. Maybe it was almost done and they were building it for the Wii U, but then they just decided, oh, okay, so we already put one on the Wii U, so maybe we'll just put one on the Switch because people really would like go over to the Switch, like the Pikmin fans would transfer over to the Nintendo Switch if a brand new Pikmin game was made for that. Let's move on. Let's move on to a new. What is this? What I'm talking about right now? Is it? No, it's not. Okay, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, I'll move on. All right, my picture's in the wrong order, guys. Sorry. Let's talk about Metroid Prime 4 for a second. I'm not a hardcore Metroid fan, so I'm going to have to rely on some of you guys for this. Metroid has been reinvigorated as of late. It's had new major game releases. So I think that Metroid Prime 4 is really just satisfying the outcry from the Nintendo fans for a brand new Metroid game to come, like be an entirely HD one. And I think that Metroid Prime 4 is very likely to come out next year. I don't know. This is one of the oddballs on the list. I'm putting it in September because I don't think that Nintendo would want Metroid Prime 4 to conflict with some of the other games that I have upcoming for the releases on the Switch. So that's why I'm putting Metroid Prime 4 a little bit earlier. And the last picture that you guys saw is sort of a teaser for the next game that I'm going to be talking about. What are you guys saying in the chat? Kirby's Air Ride 2 would be amazing. I'm a big fan of the Mario and Luigi games. Does anyone agree? I really like those games. They're fun games. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4, possibly being a September game. I know there's going to be the people that are going to be like, no, Metroid Prime 4 is not coming out this year, or in 2018. They think that's going to take a lot longer. But you know what? Just because they didn't want to show a trailer at E3 doesn't necessarily mean that it's not coming at all. Like, I think it's going to be. Skit Central says, do you think the 3DS will die? Yes, I think it is. I think there's going to be very few games coming out in 2018 for the 3DS. If Pokemon's abandoning ship, a ship that they've been loyal to for so long, then I think others will follow in that regard. Okay, let's talk about a brand new Mario game that I think is going to be the October title. Super Mario Odyssey had lots of success coming out in October of this year, so I think that a brand new Mario game coming out in October of next year will also be really good. Now, whether this will be a new 3D Mario game, Mario Maker, Luigi's Mansion, a new 2D Mario game like I have a low-quality picture of on the screen right now, still remains to be seen. But I definitely think a new main Mario game in some capacity is going to be coming next year. Let me know what you think about that idea in the chat right now. I'd just really like to know what you guys think about a new main Mario game. Of course, what you guys are talking about, like with the Mario and Luigi stuff, I definitely think they could bring a Mario and Luigi game or a brand new Mario RPG in to fill this spot. I'm not necessarily talking about some of the lesser prioritized spin-off series in Mario games here, because I think that they're going to come in a different time frame of this year, which is why I'm saving some of the Mario sports stuff for later on in the stream. Okay, so Fresh Start says 2D probably, maybe open world. I think it's only going to be really open world if it's a sequel to Odyssey. I did make a video about this in the past, but I'm just going to be expanding on it with you guys today. I think it's going to be 2D as well. And like one of you guys mentioned earlier in the stream that you would like a sequel to Super Mario World in some way, I think they could change up the art style from the new Super Mario Bros. Art style, make it a little bit different, change up some of the gameplay mechanics, you know, just make it new. I mean, okay, I know that kind of contradicts changing up new Super Mario Bros. To make it new, but still, I think that's how you have to change it up. Skit Central says, I think a 2D Mario game should have the Mario Odyssey kingdoms in it. That'd be pretty cool, exploring those vast kingdoms from Mario Odyssey in a 2D environment. I think that'd be really cool. Siiroth67 says, I have chortles. That's probably my favorite quote from that game. Mario Wii, says Don Koku. Yeah, okay, so a lot of people, like a lot of fans, have been outcrying for just Nintendo to get rid of the new Super Mario Bros. Series and sort of just change up the style. And I think if a new 2D Mario game comes out this year with an entirely new style, definitely won't conflict with Super Mario Odyssey at all, just because of how different it will be from Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, making new worlds for Odyssey will take much longer. I completely agree with you. I only think that Nintendo's going to rush out a new main 3D Mario game if the sales for Odyssey are so high, and I don't think we have concrete sales numbers out yet for that game. They would have to be able to put a lot of stuff into a 2D Mario game on the Switch. Okay, I agree with that in some capacity. So, the thing is, right, Super Mario Odyssey as a game on its own is so grand in scale. And for Nintendo to possibly follow up that game in any way is going to be difficult. So if they release a new 3D Mario game, it's going to be instantly compared. For a new 2D Mario game, if they release a new Super Mario Bros., everybody's just going to pass it off as, oh my goodness, this is another new Super Mario Bros. Game. You need a new style of a 2D Mario game, and you need to have lots of levels in there. And you can't bring back just one of the old styles because and just make it like the old 2D Mario games, because people are just going to say, well, I could just go on to my Wii U and remake these levels in Super Mario Maker. So if Nintendo wants to bring a new 2D Mario game, it has to come now, has to be a new art style, and it has to release on Switch before a possible port of Mario Maker comes onto the Switch. I agree with Archie Watt there. Says Nintendo should do more 3D Mario games and Mario and Luigi games for the Switch. Mario & Luigi is a very interesting series. I think that'll be like the main Mario RPG series from now on. I know lots of people want Paper Mario to return to that RPG style, but for now it's sort of changed up. Alex Little, I really agree with you there. I would love another Mario 64 sequel, another remake of that game. Might be... I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. It might be one of my favorite games ever. Like, it has to be up there for me. I haven't really, like, sat down and ranked out what my favorite games are, but Mario 64 has to be one of them. Yeah, I get that fresh start. Remember when Mario Galaxy couldn't be surpassed? It's the same thing. I agree with you, because I remember, like, when Galaxy first came out, and everybody was saying, oh my goodness, this is the greatest game ever, and so on, right? And then everybody, as soon as Odyssey comes out, everybody's saying, oh my goodness, nothing could beat Mario Odyssey. I think that's something eventually will top Mario Odyssey, but I think it'll stay on top for a long time just because of the huge amount of content in that game and just how good in general it was. Alright, see ya, Half Strike. Thanks for tuning in. You guys could, yeah, you could always view the stream after if you gotta go. Alright, so I think we've touched on a new main Mario game enough. I'll probably talk about it a little bit later. Oh, shoot, I just moved that. Okay, so I talked about that. Oh, this is in the wrong order. Okay, let's talk about a new main series Pokemon game coming to the Nintendo Switch. I have no idea why my images are in such a stupid order right now, but whatever. Let's talk about a new main series Pokemon game. This is going to be the big November seller on the Nintendo Switch. I think that if Nintendo is like, they had their projections, right? Okay, so Nintendo said that we're going to have around 25 to 30 million Switch units sent out in 2018. They've got to be expecting majority of those to sell. They've already used their biggest franchise, Mario, on the Nintendo Switch. They've already used their third biggest franchise on the Switch, being The Legend of Zelda. In order to get to that amount of sales, I think they have to put a main series Pokemon game representing their second biggest franchise on the Nintendo Switch. And I think it's going to be an open world Pokemon game. I hope it doesn't include this stupid Z-Move stuff that I have on that I put on the screen right now. But that is what I think has to be in November of next year in order to sell more Switch units. You guys can talk about that in the chat. I'm going to be, I'm just going to talk to some of you guys right now. Was there some lag for you guys? Is there some lag for you guys right now? Because there's lag on my end, I see, for the output. Anyways, I think we're good now. Okay. How about a new 3D Mario Maker, says Lox Lady Charm. I think that would be really cool to have. 3D Mario games are more complex, so it would be very difficult. I think that if you're making a Mario Maker of that sort, it would have to be in a similar vein to 3D Land or something like that, more simple and more level-based. Yeah, I agree with Skid Central there. It would be very glitchy and hard to develop. Matt TBK Gaming is giving some of his predictions, I think. So, sorry. Okay, so 3D Mario Maker, Super Mario Galaxy 3, F-Zero game with Captain Falcon himself as a playable character, Smash 5 or 4 port. That'd be kind of cool. Interesting games. Switch will definitely sell units when a mainline Pokemon comes. Alright, so for you guys. Okay, so I think it's coming back now. Are we back or no? Let me know, guys. Are we back or no? I have no idea what's happening right now. I think it might have been something that I did in OBS, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now. We're back? Are we live? Is it lagging? Because it started with lag, and then it crashed for... I think it crashed once, or it crashed twice. I'm not sure. Okay, if we're back, that's good. Do you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, so you hear me, okay. Alright, that's good. Okay, so is it not lagging then? Yeah, that happened to me on the Friday stream. I don't think it fully crashed on the Friday stream, but there's some lag. So I'm going to adjust my output settings in OBS. I'm gonna adjust my settings in OBS so that it'll output better, so that there won't be as much lag, or if so that crash won't happen anymore. Um, that's okay. People are gonna probably come back in Siiroth67. I'm not really sure, but it's all right. We're just gonna continue. At least it didn't fully restart the stream. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for a couple people to come back in, because I know some people just left after the stream crashed for a second. But yeah, at least it just stayed as one video, so I'll still be able to archive it. Like, it didn't restart the stream entirely. So when this archived version comes up, there's just going to be this section here where there's a little bit of cutout. But for you guys that are watching the archived version, we're just going to continue talking about Pokemon on the Switch here as we get this stream set up again. But that's what happens, guys, sometimes. I'm going to adjust the settings later. Anyways, so about Pokemon coming to the Switch, what new features would you guys like to have? So I think that if it comes, it's going to be more of an open world Pokemon game coming to the Switch, because an open world Pokemon game, I think, has to be the next step, because the Nintendo Switch is taking steps to make its games more open world based. You have Zelda Breath of the Wild being pretty much entirely open world. Then Super Mario Odyssey, while being level based, or not really level based, but it has you thrown into different worlds, and you can just freely explore those individual worlds. So I think that if Pokemon comes to the Switch, it's going to adhere by the same principles in having that as part of it. Walking with Pokemon again, please. I know lots of people like that. I think that it would happen if it was an open world Pokemon game. You could probably just, because I would hope for an open world Pokemon game. We have no really idea what to expect here, because it's going to be HD for the first time. But for a Pokemon game like that, I would hope to have the trainers just throw out their Pokeballs, and the Pokemon would just be there on the ground with you, and then you would battle just like that. There would be no necessary transition between battles and just walking in the regular world. I think it should just be seamless, because on the 3DS, Pokemon has to break up their worlds into smaller sizes, which is why there's lots of transitions in Pokemon Sun and Moon, because they're just trying to push their hardware as much as they possibly can, and there's limits there. But on the Switch, it's going to be virtually limitless for what Pokemon has to do. Like, yeah, okay, the graphics aren't necessarily 4K, but just for a game in general, pretty much all you're going to need is right there on the Switch. So if Pokemon wants to have a higher resolution game style, they're going to have to bring it to the Switch in that way. I think that we can't just have a regular Pokemon game come, or else it's going to fall flat. It's still going to sell well. I think that it's just, in order to reach that 25 to 30 million unit projection that Nintendo wants for the Nintendo Switch, they're going to have to bring the main series Pokemon as the huge holiday seller in 2018. And they'll probably have to change up a lot of the formula with that as well. So, okay, so if I reset that right here. Okay, so the last major game that I want to talk about today is the December release, and that is a new Mario spin-off game, most likely a Mario sports game. We've been missing a Mario Strikers game and a Mario Baseball game for a while. We haven't had those in 10 years, I think, actually. So I think that would be really cool. Archie Watt says, how about a Mario and Luigi game where Mario and Luigi team up with Wario and Waluigi? That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see them involved, because I don't think they have been involved in any of them, except for cut content, I think. But anyways, back to the Mario Sports idea. We recently got Mario Sports Superstars. We got that this year, and there were rumors before that game originally came out, because I reported like all the news for that game. Like, I was on top of that, you know. I was really excited because it's been the first time since we've had a new Mario Baseball game, my favorite Mario Sports series. So I was really excited for it, but then Mario Sports Superstars came out, and it was just bad. It was just bad. Like, there's the transition between when you hit the ball and when it goes to the outfield. Like, it's just not very good in general. So having it on the Switch would be really cool if they want to include all 5. but I would hope to have it be like the older days when it was just an individual Mario sports game and we just have Sluggers on its own. Siiroth67 says right there in the chat, a Sluggers remake. One of my favorite games ever is Mario Super Sluggers, so having that on the Nintendo Switch would be amazing. You could even just shake your Joy-Con to hit the ball or something like that. I want Dodgeball back. It'd be pretty cool if Nintendo has an entirely separate Dodgeball game, or if they just wanted to port over the Mario Sports Mix game from the Wii, which I think is the only Mario Sports game that contains Dodgeball, over to the Nintendo Switch. I think it would just work out really good. Mario Sports Mix and Sluggers 2. Best idea ever. It'd just be a great idea. Lots of people want Mario Strikers to come back. I'm a fan of that series, although I'm nowhere near a fan of that as I am with Sluggers. I'm a diehard fan for Sluggers. Yeah, Sluggers was 9 years ago and Strikers was 10 years ago. Thanks for pulling that up. It was just, man, like, I love those games. And I think that it's high time that they return. We've had too many Mario Golf and tennis games release out on Nintendo platforms recently. I think that it's time for a brand new Mario Baseball game. And I don't know, like, tell me in the chat what you guys would like to see in that game. I'll go over my thoughts later. Yeah, Sean Pota, I agree with you there. I loved Mario Sports Mix as well. I thought it was a really great game. What did it include in it again? It included hockey. But we do see hockey in Mario sports games all the time. Like every Winter Olympics game, there's a hockey mode, and that's one of the best modes in the game. Possibly we'll be getting the 2018 Olympic Winter Games next year as well. So, okay, thanks for letting me know about that, Siiroth67. They've never appeared. Where Bowser teams up to defeat Mario and Luigi. That'd be kind of interesting. Hello, Ivan Sut, OMG, Android. Hello. Lots of characters in Sluggers. Yep. I would agree with that. Like, I love the huge rosters of Mario baseball games. Any Mario sports game in general, I love big rosters because it just highlights some of the lesser known Mario characters. And you guys could probably tell just from watching some of my videos that I really just love delving into all of the lore behind some of the lesser known characters from the Mario series. I do videos all the time about underused Mario enemies and whatnot, and them being included in a Mario baseball game just provides more variety, and I like analyzing the stats, what's the best team combinations, whatever. It's a fun game to play through, and having more characters really strengthens how good of the game that is. Planet J Game says online mode maybe. I'd love that. I'd also like a seasons mode too. Like you know, for the regular MLB games and so on, they'll have a season mode where you could just play through a season with your chosen team or your drafted team, and you'll sign players for a certain amount of money. I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, you just sign Mario characters for a certain amount of coins. Might be too in-depth for what Nintendo would really want to do for a Mario sports game, but I would really like that for Mario Baseball. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, another reason I like that Skit Central. Sluggers had so many characters. I think that was the last actual in-game appearance of King K. Rool, which is pretty interesting. Characters would have to have their own stats. Yeah, yeah, Nintendo Aiden, for season mode, characters would have to have their own stats, and they would have to be some would have to be way better than others for you to want to sign them to a specific deal. Or you could trade them to other teams, for example. And you could probably either do that just with computers or entirely online. That you could just enter a seasons mode online. For that, you would have to play every day at certain times or whatever, or schedule games with people. It'd be pretty interesting to have, honestly. But for an offline mode, you could just play a certain amount of games, and the more games you play probably strengthens the stats of your characters, or the performance that they do in the games strengthens their base stats, and then you could trade them for other characters that also have their base stats increased, because certain characters are going to be better than others in certain aspects right from the get-go with their base stats, and then once you upgrade them with good performance in-game, they'll be even better. Synchronized swimming. Oh yeah, is that a new idea for Mario Sports? Because I think there's been swimming in the Olympic Games ones before, but yeah, I don't think synchronized. That'd be kind of interesting. Because there's Olympics next year, right? Yeah, I think so. or a college sport. It's different because in college sports, you'll get abused beyond belief. I did like the chemistry in Sluggers as well. It was a very interesting aspect that made you think about choosing your team. And more characters means more chemistry, and you could delve into the further aspects about who has chemistry with who and who to use on a specific team. Yeah, I know, it's foggy where I am right now. Baseball Planetary Games, yeah. Baseball is the best Mario Sports series, in my opinion, at least. Now, I think that right now Nintendo's on a downward inclined for Mario Sports games with their quality, because we had Ultra Smash for Mario Tennis, which didn't even include any more stadiums. It shows how much they care about that series. Virtually not at all. And then you have Mario Sports Superstars, which is very bland in how much like content that it had within it, and it was very disappointing to me. It's why I never made any more videos about Mario Sports Superstars in particular after that game came out. Nintendo Aiden says, just like in Sluggers, characters would have their own special abilities. Yeah, and I'd like to see more special abilities, perhaps more captains. I think that the Brutals would definitely be included as characters. In my top 5 new Mario Sports characters video, I wasn't able to include the Brutals because I made that video before they were actually revealed for Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, Bowser could team up with Madame Brutal. That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, because in the original Mario Super Sluggers, even though there wasn't really a Seasons mode where you could trade players or whatever, in the actual single player, which is a very important part of the content for those games, you could play against teams from a specific park. And in, say, the Peaches Park, for actually that's not a good example because I know who was on that team. In Peaches Park, there were a certain amount of characters on that team. Like there was just a bunch of Toads and Petey Piranha and Toadsworth and stuff like that. So for them, like for those particular teams, I think that could sort of be carried over. And for a Brutal team, Madame Brutal could be the leader of that team, and then have all the other Brutals on that, as well as some new enemies introduced in Super Mario Odyssey on that team. We had my 3 favorite Mario Sports games ever. Yeah, okay, see, I know there's Mario Sports Mix, Mario Super Sluggers, and Mario Strikers Charged. 3 of my favorites as well. I did actually enjoy, it was on the DS though, Mario and Sonic at the 2010 Olympic Games, or Winter Olympic Games, the Vancouver one. It was just, I liked the campaign for that for some reason. I have some nostalgia for that game. I played it many years ago. Yeah, how long is today's stream going to be? About an hour, like Harry Stacy just answered. Yeah, I'll probably end it at the 1 hour mark, maybe later, I don't know. Pauline should be a captain. Yeah, I definitely think that she'll be included because of her resurgence as a character, being included in Super Mario Odyssey. What games have been predicted already? I'll show you Hazard X memes if you're just tuning in now. Okay, so we had Kirby. Kirby as the... No, I'll start with this. Okay, so my order was kind of messed up for the pictures, but we had Kirby in March, Yoshi in February, April we had Mario Party, then May we had Project Octopath Traveler, then Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, Pikmin, a new Mario game, Metroid Prime 4, and Mario Sports Superstars. No, the pictures from Mario Sports Superstars. But a new Mario Sports game and a Mario, not a Mario, sorry, I'm just adjusting some settings here, and a main Pokemon game. Pauline is a mayor. Yeah, she can take some time off and play Mario Sports. I did enjoy Mario Hoops 3-on-3 as well, along with Nintendo Aiden right there. It was a good Mario basketball game. I think that was also in Mario Sports Mix. Yeah, it was. It was fun in Mario Sports Mix. But it was really good to have on the DS as a portable Mario Sports game. Because there aren't many portable Mario Sports games, you know. Like Mario Sports Superstars, I was excited because it was the return of that. But again, it fell flat. So, like, what were the other ones on the DS? I forget. Like, there was all the Olympic Games. And then there was that one. I'm not sure what else. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, there's also the locals of every kingdom. Yeah, I agree with that because, like, say, the Piantas from Mario Sunshine and the Nokis, they were all included as characters in Mario Sluggers as well. I'm getting Mario Sports Superstars for Christmas. That's cool. The Kingdoms from Odyssey could be cool. Stadiums, again, very interesting. I'll switch back to, because we're sort of done the basic predictions now. I'll switch to the other one. The other scene that I have. Yeah, it would be cool. Stadiums. Now I was thinking that like I might make a new top 10 video about Mario Kart track ideas, and some of the Kingdoms from Odyssey would be good ideas for tracks as well. I'd like some of your guys' help for new videos that I could possibly make. Just some things on a list. What track ideas do you guys have for a new Mario Kart game, like a Mario Kart 9? I know we just got Deluxe a couple months ago, but I still think that Mario Kart 9 is very likely to come to the Nintendo Switch. So what ideas do you guys have? And I'll probably shout you guys out in the description of the top 10 video that I make, because I'd really like some of your input. I might make a top 10 Mario Kart 9 track ideas, or maybe Smash Brothers new stage ideas. Whatever. I think that I'd really appreciate your guys' input for that. Some ideas that I have is just the Kingdoms from Odyssey, and Bob on Battlefield or other Mario 64 worlds would be good as well. And just some other places that are famous within the Mario world, except most of the famous ones are already in a Mario Kart game as a track. So it'll be kind of hard to think of some new ones, which is why I wanted you guys' help. What other top 10 ideas do you guys have? Please let me know as well. So ARCC says, a track that goes through the grass, desert, beach, snow, mountain, sky, and lava worlds. Yeah, it'd be fun. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on, I have to get a water. Wait, I'm just gonna drink the water. Lake Mode was so much fun in Mario Odyssey. No lie, like, it was so awesome. Water. Okay. Only one of them, because they're... Yeah, so maybe just the best one. Yeah, so maybe just include the best kingdom from Odyssey. Well, I don't know what the best kingdom would be, but like just include one of the areas from Mario Odyssey. I think that a couple of them could be included just for more representation, though. Maybe you could take New Donk City because it's very famous. I think the Sand Kingdom would be a little bit too generic, but you could include the Lake Kingdom, and I think that would be really cool to have. Plant J Game says a Magical Spires track, a Honey themed track, a Circus track. That'd be really cool. Circus track, sort of Baby Park, but new ideas would be good. Like new ideas could be implemented into it. CeeLo67 says Ultra Sun and Moon is probably going to be a new stage for Smash Bros. I could definitely see that, unless they want to put in something from Gen 8 and they want to say that Gen 7 is behind them. That's possible. Nintendo Bro, let me know what your idea is. Okay, you did let me know. Okay, so top 10 cutest Mario enemies. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I might do that. Do you have any ideas of what I could put on that list? Like, what are some cute Mario enemies? Like, Goomba's not very cute. A Luncheon Kingdom track, and you could go gliding over the volcano. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Then you could just fall in and burn yourself alive. In the Lake Mode track, you could see the Long Lady cheer you on, and you'll be able to play as them and race around their kingdom listening to the music of that kingdom. That'd be really cool. Yeah, because obviously in a new Mario Kart, just like the Mario Slugger stuff that we were talking about a few minutes ago, there would be new characters implemented into it, obviously. So maybe that'll be implemented. Top 10 enemy ideas. I have some ideas for enemies. I'd like to know yours too. And Metro, obviously. Maybe the Koopalings and the Brutals should team up. That'd be very interesting. Because the Brutals are an obvious evolution of the Koopalings. I don't think that the Brutals are going to entirely replace the Koopalings as characters, but I think that they're very similar in so many ways. Like, their boss fights in Mario Odyssey are extremely similar. Like, they'll go back into their hats and spin around like one of the Koopa shells would. ARCC says, what about having the Snow Kingdom? I assume that you mean as a track in a new Mario Kart game. I'd like that. There's already like 3 snow areas in Mario Kart, so I don't know, because like it would be kind of repetitive. But Luncheon Kingdom and New Donk City are pretty unique. Lake LaMode is pretty unique. Maybe new Captain Toad game. I love that Hazard X memes. Very cool puzzle game style. Sweet dessert checks. Crazy Gamer says, don't forget Pikmin 4. Yeah, I talked about that in the predictions section. You could always watch that again later when the stream is archived. But I did talk about Pikmin 4 before. Right there, Pikmin 4. Yeah, so Pikmin 4 is another game that I definitely think will be coming to the Switch. Okay. What were we talking about? Okay, so, a pair of scissors with eyes. That would be pretty cool. It'll just cut you and it'll just fly around. Imagine it has the wings on it. You know the wings that you would put on it in what is it, Super Mario Maker? That'd be kind of cool. Bob Bombs are as well. Oh yeah, Bob Bombs are kind of cute. Yeah, Cheeps are. Yeah, there's just certain enemies are, certain popular ones. I might talk about some lesser known enemies that might be popular, like some of the ladybug ones. I don't know if you remember those from 3D Land. Those are kind of cute enemies. I'm going to put my Shiny Kyogre hunt on a hold for a bit and finish my second file of Bowser's Inside Story I never got around to. Alright, good luck with that. Cappy for a Switch Mario Tennis game. That'd be kind of cool. Better not be like Ultra Smash. I mean, I didn't mind Ultra Smash as a game on its own, but the fact that it didn't have any like unlockable stadiums, like there's only one stadium, so I like the game on its own, but it should have been $15 instead of like 60 or 70 because I'm Canada. Cappy would be a really interesting playable character though. Ludwig should be because he's the oldest. What was that? What are you talking about again? Lava Bubbles, Pokies, Parabitty Buds, Pokies with limbs. Yeah, Ultra Smash is very underwhelming, I feel. Very underwhelming. Like, it could have easily been a $15 game and I would be fine with it. But no, they wanted to sell it for a full price game because they didn't have anything else to release on the Wii U in the holiday season. So we're gonna like, oh my goodness, let's put Ultra Smash on there. And then, but we've only made one court. Doesn't matter, just release it. That's the Nintendo executives, by the way. I don't know. I don't make a good impression. Snowman enemies from Cool Cold Mountain are adorable. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah, they could definitely be in the cutest Mario enemies. Yeah, I totally agree. Bitty Bugs, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think Rotom Dex as a support for Smash 5 is very likely. It could be an easy assist trophy, dude. I could just instantly see that being there. Boos are kind of cute to an extent, but they're also kind of scary, so, you know. Some people might not agree with that. I'll go for another, 2 or 3 minutes or so. Then I'll end it off because this is being archived, right? So I don't want people to be so intimidated like by going onto a video about Nintendo Switch 2018 game predictions that's over an hour long. So most people aren't going to try to watch that video because it's too long. But I really appreciate all you guys that are coming out today, supporting the stream just by being here. Maybe a new Mario puzzle game for the Switch. That'd be really cool. Like, they just take Tetris and then just recolor with a bunch of Mario stuff. That'd be really interesting. Bloopers are sort of cute. Chain Chomps, not really. But what kind of puzzle game could we have on the Switch for Mario? Like, what kind of puzzle game could we have? Like, Captain Toad is one of the biggest Mario puzzle series that there is. If the Koopalings were in Sluggers, what would their captain be? Oh, so is that what you guys were talking about before? About Ludwig because he's the oldest? Okay, so baseball teams have 9 people, right? So if the Koopalings were there, they would have to have another person on their team. Maybe Bowser Jr. would move off of Bowser's team and then go on the Koopalings one. And then as the 9th person, you'd probably have Boom Boom. But then again, if you include Boom Boom, you would have to include Pom Pom. So you'd remove Bowser Jr., put Boom Boom and Pom Pom on the team, and then make Ludwig the captain because he's the oldest. I think that makes sense. I don't know. But then you keep running into more problems with that, because if you have Ludwig be the captain, then he has to have a special move, and then all of the other Koopalings won't have a special move, so it would kind of just make the other Koopalings not seem as important, even though they're technically not. You sort of want to treat them that way. Hey, the Brick Dennis YouTube channel, what's going on, dude? But so, if that's the case, then I think that Ludwig would be the captain of Skid Central. Sad Wigglers. What other characters could be in Mario Sluggers on Switch? I don't know. But it's definitely something that I want to talk about. I even had plans to make a full video about another Mario Sluggers game. So I might even make another stream about it, or just make a video about it itself. And I'll just do that. But the next stream, I don't know when it's going to be. Probably sometime this week or next weekend. I'm not sure. It's harder for me to stream during the week because there's school and stuff like that. So, you know, there's always classes and stuff. How about a 3D Luigi game where Luigi has to save Daisy from King Boo? That'd be really cool. You could sort of implement some of the Easter eggs hidden within the Luigi's Mansion games into there. That'd be kind of interesting as well. Maybe it's every time we hit a half an hour and then YouTube has to do something like refresh the stream or whatever. I have no idea. Maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah, but I agree with Aries TC that whenever I hit half an hour, like every half hour mark, the stream starts to lag a little bit. Hey, I'll put a cheer on for the 1 hour, folks. I don't have any cheer button to hit, so maybe for the next stream I'll do that. Thanks for everybody who has been watching the entire time. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys with another stream, okay? I'll end this one. Bye, guys. I might be in the chat for a little bit.